Hi everyone, it's Mike Digby here. I am a performance coach at SotoTennis Academy. I actually started playing tennis a little bit later than most. I was probably about 11 or 12 when I started properly competing, and that led me through to playing some kind of county regional junior events over in the UK, and I would probably say I'm a little bit of a late developer. And then when I was 16 or so, I kind of had the idea of wanting to play college tennis in America. Given that I was a late starter, I thought this would allow me to play a little bit longer and kind of develop myself as a person and also as a tennis player over in the United States. And I thoroughly enjoyed my time over in America. I had 4 really good years at a school in Michigan. It taught me a lot about myself. It taught me a lot about how to compete, which I think, being a late developer, I definitely got a little later on in my career. And I had every intention of wanting to play professional tennis, but I then went down the hitting partner route. Probably in year 3 in college, I got offered to be a hitting partner at a number of events, starting at Wimbledon, and that's when I ended up practicing with the likes of Roger Federer, with Novak Djokovic, with Simona Halep, which was an incredible experience for me to be able to kind of listen in, as now being a coach, into the coaches' chats at the time. It gave me a lot of insight as to what coaching is like at the highest level, and you end up kind of picking up little bits from coaches that you like, and it's given me a much broader perspective on what is required to be a world-class tennis coach. That's where I then ended up meeting Academy Director Dan Kiernan, and I ended up practicing quite a lot with Evan Hoyt before he was preparing to play some American challenger events, Evan being a former player at SotoTennis Academy. And then ever since then, me and Dan stayed in touch, and I ended up starting to coach in January 2020 at the Academy. And since being at the Academy, I've worked with a variety of different levels, and mainly for 2 out of those kind of 4 years so far, worked with an Australian junior on the ITF Junior Tour, going to 2 of the 4 Grand Slams, and taught me a hell of a lot about how to coach, being a very young coach, which was really, really exciting. And I'm now currently working more so on the WTA Tour in 2 professional teams. So the Academy has given me a lot. It's allowed me to learn as a coach, to develop my skill set, and hopefully give back to the players that I coach. So I wanted to touch a little bit on the tournament structure at SotoTennis Academy. You've heard Josh and Tom speak about various components of the Academy so far, and I wanted to dive in what that looks like, what kind of levels we cover at the Academy, what our tournament support looks like, and how coaches can help at tournaments. So if I start off with the types of tournaments we go to, it's a wide variety of tournaments. We have coach support at local tournaments, which is in the Andalusia kind of area, all the way from Sevilla to Marbella to Malaga. So whenever players visit us at the Academy, most weekends we will have coach support at these tournaments, at these local events. If I move up to kind of more performance-based events. So we have the Warrior Tour, which we also have coach support at, which is some of the best younger players in the country. And then if I move up more towards kind of the Rafa Nadal events, a similar type of age, which again, some of the best players in the country, which is all around the country, not just in Andalusia. We also then move up into more of the ITF type level, which again, we travel internationally. We have done as an academy for a number of years. We've had players this year so far in Kenya. We've had some traveling more so back to the UK. We have plenty of trips coming up, which also include multiple international events, which has coach support at. We've also been supporting players playing future level events, the 15 and 25k ITF level events, both in the men's and women, as well as multiple challenger level events on the ATP Tour in the past as well. Which then leads us all the way up to kind of the ATP level events and WTA level events. In most recent times with Gabriela Dabrowski on the double side on the WTA Tour, and then Tamara Zidanšek on the WTA side, more singles. our Academy Director, has also supported Lloyd Glasspool and Harry Helovara in the men's doubles last year. So we have a wide variety of tournaments that we look to cover and have coach support at. I guess the question would be, what role does the coach play at these events? So we can look to stat. We are big believers that giving objective feedback to players will help them understand maybe why they're doing a particular thing well, why they can look to get, or where they can look to get better. But we also are a big believer, and I think if you're looking to coach and also play at a high level within your age category, it's really important that coaches get to watch the match for a feel perspective. This word is used a lot in tennis, how players feel, what coaches feel. And I think the only way you can really kind of gauge that is by watching your players compete. Within Spain, we have something called IBP events, which are money events. You can go and compete in and around Spain and try and earn some money before you end up going to college, and also before maybe you transition onto the Pro Tour. We've had lots of players use these events as a supplement to then looking to play the 15 and 25k ITF Futures events, because it's a good way of maybe not having to travel too far, but also being able to earn some money doing so. So there's multiple events around the country during the year, which offer some really high-level matches for those types of players as well. There's a number of reasons why I think you should come and visit us over in Sotogrande in Spain. If I continue on the theme of the tournament structure, like I said, there's a number of different tournaments that you can look to play of all ages and all levels. And I think what often is quite rare in our sport, and it's very difficult to find, is having coach support at these events. I think the most common question I get asked is, well, is a coach going to watch me play? Because often this is the thing that people miss out on. There's often lots of different opportunities to compete around the world, but there's not very many opportunities to compete when a coach is able to give you some really valid feedback. With a wealth of experience within our coaching team, I think we can definitely offer that. It's amazing weather. I think it goes without saying. We have some great weather, and our sport is played predominantly outside. So I think if you're not necessarily training outside as much, potentially there's a little bit of a disadvantage. So being able to train in warm weather the majority of the year round is a real plus. We have a wealth of experience within our team, working from some very good little mini tennis players all the way up to the high end on the ATP WTA tour. We've got some great coaches, lots of different nationalities, so they offer different opinions. We're very hard-working coaches. We try and give everyone a fair amount of opportunities, and we look to try and develop. I think one of our philosophies at the Academy is look to develop people, not just tennis players, which again I think is quite rare to find. I think we try and focus in on looking to help people grow, as well as helping you grow as a tennis player. So guys, just to wrap up, firstly, I hope you found the information that I handed over useful. Obviously I spoke a lot around the tournament structure and competition structure. If you have any questions from me or anyone in the team, please comment below and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. Hopefully see you at SotoTennis Academy soon or on the road.